Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Name Region office in Spain. We're Bill and Emily Chung, and today we want to talk about the Trash to Treasure project.
The Trash to Treasure project is a plastic recycling project that takes recyclable plastics and makes them into something that's useful. This is our pilot project that we are doing here in Spain with the intention that we would take these to other remote locations, including perhaps refugee camps.
So the process that we're going to use involves a few steps. First, the plastic is shredded into pellets, and then the shredded pellets are either extruded or injection molded. So we're going to show you some of that.
Okay, why don't you start? We're going to start by showing you the components.
This is an electric motor. The extrusion and shredding machine is actually uses one motor. So this motor has couplers on both sides and a bit of a transmission here to drive both machines when we need to either shred or use the extrusion.
Okay, the next step is the shredder. We have the shredder here, and it takes the raw plastic that we will collect and goes through the hopper into the shredder, and out will come shredded plastic beads for use in both injectors, in the injector and the extruder.
So this is the extrusion machine. It consists of a hopper where you put the shredded plastic. That goes into this tube that has some heating coils and the control box that controls the heating coils as well as the rate of the auger. And this auger feeds the plastic through this tube, and at the other end you can put a mold, a large mold that fills with plastic. You can make whatever shape you want. You can make tubes or pipes. Our plan is to make maybe rectangular 2x4 type shapes so people can use them for construction of other things.
We've also seen molds for doing things like making benches and chairs, which might be useful articles in a home. Okay, I want to show you some of the molds that we are going to be using. For the injection mold machine, we have different molds, including just simple circular shapes and hexagonal and square shapes. And what we're going to do with these is to make useful articles like tiles. They can be used as tiles in a home, or things like coasters, other kitchen articles. So here we also have a spring clamp. So we want to make some useful tools. The spring clamp will be a useful tool in many situations. And one of the others we have is carabiners. So we can make 4 carabiners at a time. And there we go. So, and then we have the plates that hold them together. So we inject the plastic and we can make the useful articles in the mold.
So this is the injection molding machine. As you can see, it's hand cranked. It has a rack and pinion that drives a bar down like a piston into the heating element. So what we do is we'll attach the molds that Emily just showed you to the bottom plate here, fill the tube with shredded plastic, and then when it reaches the correct temperature of the melted plastic, we'll turn the crank, drive the melted plastic into the mold, and when they're filled up, we wait for it to cool, and then hopefully pop out our product like carabiners or clamps or the tiles that we talked about. So why are we doing all this? The whole point is relationship building, and to set up the pilot project to make sure it works. The eventual plan is to deploy these to places where we can set up the machines and then bring people in to work with us.
Or we get them to set them up.
Or we get them to set them up and have a center where you're constantly working with people. And as people see the whole process of turning garbage plastic into something useful, from trash to treasure, then when you start to introduce the whole concept of the gospel, of how Jesus changes our lives from trash to treasure also, it's very easy for them to get the point. And that's why we're being very intentional of having a teaching guide that goes along with each step of this process, that we could train others to do the same thing, to teach others and to share the gospel using this system.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.